Testing, testing, testing. JB here, JB here. Hope everyone's doing outstanding. 303 on July 24th on 2% down Wednesday, or at least that's what it is right now for the S&P. I think, I don't know how many, 300 and something days since the S&P has seen a 2% pullback. Who knows if it's going to hold? Typically, we get a 330 more gyration. So either the plunge protection team will come in, they'll hit the button, the buyers will come in, and we'll be only down 1.5 or 1%, or things might accelerate. And put it on the watch list this morning. So it was 554, 551. And then now, once we broke through that 541, I thought would test. I put it on the watch list, but I didn't think it would come today. Otherwise, I would have played a little more for some downside. But here we are. Uh, Google headlines right now talking the tech earnings are shaking folks into out of the risky assets or whatever it is. It's just funny how one day can switch the whole narrative. When Google reported earnings, it looked like most folks were saying, "Wow, another strong quarter." But I guess there's concerns, and you would see some people talking that was the top is in for AI, right? And you see a lot of these names just getting pummeled. And then you also see the ad names, and I was talking about this morning too, TTD, and then you see Roku, which I wish I would look at it and say, wow, it's an opportunity here back at 56, but I'll probably wait for the dust to settle. But some of those names, TTD down 9%, 10%, Roku's down 9%, uh, Tesla's down 11%. So yeah, just unfortunate, not unfortunate, but these days happen. It just sometimes it's painful. And then looking for some trades, I don't want to pour. I was putting in the chat room earlier. Don't want to pour salt on the wounds by adding some more things that might, if the market doesn't bounce or what have you. So if there's, and always try to find a silver lining. Number one, you look, you pull back the chart. The SPY, the 50-day moving average is 540. So hopefully that holds in the whole grand scheme of things. We're mid April, mid June lows. I mean, levels. Excuse me. So at some point people are going to come in, and then the small caps, which were green for a lot of the morning and early afternoon, and then finally succumb to the pressure down 1.5%. But you pull it into the context of where that has the small caps have rallied since mid-July, and this just looks like just more churn. So some positive things, I guess. And then tomorrow we have the GDP number. It's, I guess, expectation 2.7%, and then PCE data on Friday. Those are either going to help put a bid in the market or at least stop the bleeding, or we're going to get more selling. So, I mean, easy to say, to have some conviction, say at some point we're going to bounce, but tough. And at the same token, I don't have my bear suit on, but I continue to look for opportunities to protect call positions I have for upside. So that's number one. Overall market, individual names. I added some land research puts. I was up in the air between adding the Broadcom puts or the land research. Land research wasn't down as much, and if I looked at the chart and thought maybe this time, I had those on Thursday and Friday, maybe this time it breaks under 900. Not it doesn't even have to break 900 for the puts to pay, but I thought it offered a decent risk reward. So I went and got those. It's actually hitting lows right here, right now. I was actually looking at the 885s, and then I waited, and then by that time I had to go down to 875s. So I don't know if I paid too much. I don't think it'll matter because if we do continue to sell off into the close and then there's some fall through tomorrow, land will be under $900, and my puts will be quite a few bags. So I'll continue to hold them. They're almost up 100% right now. Once they get to 100%, I'll look just to lock a few in to cover the costs, ride the rest into tomorrow. And then Broadcom, that's right at its 50-day moving average. So again, I was looking at that one this morning, and of course, in hindsight, I should have got the Broadcoms. The 155s yesterday, I think they were like 20 or 30 cents. And right now, the 155s are probably up at 800%. I don't even want to look. Oh, the thousands of percent. Wow. Yeah, 155s are up 1,500%. 1,700%, excuse me. That's from yesterday's close. So I don't know what they opened at. I could pull it up. I just don't want to waste more time here. But another one that I'll continue to look for, that I look to do hedges on. And I always say this, I'm not bearish Broadcom, I'm not bearish Lam Research. I just think they offer a great opportunity when the market pulls back for protection or the offset losses, right? So some of the names I was in, and I'll talk about them in a second, they're down. It's a lot of them have very locked profits in last week, the week before, and lots, and then had rolled in further out strikes. So it just, I would have liked to see some resolve to the upside instead of getting the pullback we had today. So Spotify this morning, I was looking yesterday post earnings, uh, and then it faded off its opening highs. And then this morning, tons of upgrades, analysts reiterating ratings, raising the price target, and then the stock just took off in the morning. So I went and got some weekly strikes, able to close some out for over 100%. Uh, hindsight again, I should have closed them all out. I didn't think we were going to get this big a pull just today. At least today, maybe tomorrow we could have got some more. So I held on because if you look, I say this a lot too. Uh, New highs beget new highs. So once you break and it's all-time high levels, which is what it did, I thought it was going to have some continuation. Then it succumbed to the market pressures. So, at some point I'll look to revisit Spotify, but a decent trade in the morning. And then some of the names that I'm in, and you take a look at Roku, and Roku just gave back all the gains in July and some of the gains from the end of June, and it's back here at that 56 handle. They'll have earnings next Thursday. I'm I sit here and I would love to, and I typically don't average down, so I would get later strikes or closer to money strikes, but I'll just hold what I have. I don't. People are doing a read through with Google advertising, and you see the spill off effects and some of these other names. To me, it just seems like people use it as an excuse to take profits in Roku. So, as much as I want to sit there and try and time the bottom, I'm probably just going to sit on my hands with my August strikes. I already locked in most of the 75s. It's just I added those 85s, which I could have been a little more patient on. Uh, and then you pull out the Roku chart, and you look at the candle, looks nasty, but in the whole perspective, it still looks like chop or consolidation, just longer term. So you have to have you got to have that objects. You have that rear view mirror where it says objects are further than they appear. You got to pull the chart out. And then block, and a similar thing. It's just getting pulled down with the rest of the market. The unfortunate thing with block is you have that death cross, and then that consolidation it had through June and July before the breakout. That's pretty much done. It's erased all the gains, and now it's in the red. So it might be the lows of the year, not the 52-week low, but the 2024 lows. I have to go check. It's getting pretty darn close. Again, not going to add any more. Square has been a great trade the last couple of weeks. But of course, in hindsight, I shouldn't have rolled out for the strikes or earnings, but it'll announce their earnings date. Hopefully, typically it's this week or next week, so I won't be surprised if they do that. Speaking of earnings, VKTX reports after the close. You also have Align Technologies. I it, I wa- I wanted to get the Align Technology calls just to play for some premium build for earnings, and you look and the stock is down right now, and the premiums are starting to creep up. They're up 25%. I was talking about the last day or two, premiums were coming out. Now they're coming into the calls and the puts. So I mean, this could be a trade. There's only 45 minutes left in the day, but like the 330s, I bet you in the last 30 minutes, they're going to go from 30 to 60. They might be like $1 at the close, but I don't want to pour salt in the wounds today. So I'm just gonna sit and just be content and be happy, not to try and chase or FOMO anything, or try and squeeze profits out where, despite the fact that I think that it's going to be a strong beat and raise, who knows how it reacts, especially with what's going on today. And then same with VKTX. I'm sure there's going to be positive, rosy commentary, updates on their studies, their cash position, their cash runway, and things like that. I just don't. I don't know how much what could be said that's really going to spark it. So maybe I'll wait till tomorrow to add strikes on that one. And same with the line. And I think that's about it, folks. If anything changes, I'll get back on audio. Lamb's under 920 here, so it's getting close. The put's close to a double, so getting there. All right, so let's have a great afternoon, folks. I'll be back on audio later. Rock and roll.